Hi, everybody. This is Deb, and I'm inviting you once again to see one of our fellow
I'm
classmates.
Scott Beattie, and I currently live in Rosemont, Minnesota. Toledo was a wonderful place to grow up. Everybody, the schools I went to, the people I met, and it worked out great for my family, because my parents had a successful business, and there's a lot of people know our family had the Western Auto store on Reynolds Road, and so I was always working there, probably since I was old enough to put a tricycle together.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and they kind of turned me on to camping and led my life to another place, but I'm glad that I grew up in Toledo, Ohio, and proud of it. I grew up in the Reynolds Corners neighborhood. So I went to Martin grade school, and then I went to Gland grade school.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's where I got to know Jim Stow and Charlie Contrada
Okay.
and Rick Watson and Jeff Barefoot. They were neighbors.
Great. So then you went on all the way through to Rogers. Did you play baseball or softball, track? What kind of
I
do?
ran track, and I tried to wrestle a couple of years,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
ninth grade and 10th grade, but then I just became a heavy duty wrestling fan. But with my long, thin body type, I was a little bit more suited for running track. So,
And so who'd you hang out with in school?
well, I hung out with Jeff Barefoot. I hung out with Rick Watson, Bruce Schmenkel,
Yeah.
and
Oh, and Bruce just passed last
yeah,
fall. I'm
yeah,
so
just
sad about that, you
sure
know?
it is. Yeah,
Mm.
really. He was another real wonderful car fanatic.
Was he?
Yeah, and then both him and Rick were very proud of their cars, and we would go to car washes together and wash our cars together.
I
We were
love
pretty, we were pretty
that.
close for a long time. Let's
Uh,
see, I hung out with Charlie Contrada quite a bit, especially in in grade school. I mean,
yeah,
in junior high school.
yeah, yeah.
And Jim Stow, we'd always play football in Jim Stow's side yard, and
Awesome.
was quite a few people, and I I hung out with Dirk Dantema too quite a bit.
Well, all a bunch of good guys, you know. One time when my high school girlfriends and I we were driving by Charlie's law office, and we said, "Oh, let's just go in." And so we just stopped by us. We said,
Oh,
"Hi,
that go.
hi, Charlie." He just goes, "Oh my God, what are you guys doing here?" We had a nice conversation. It was just fun to surprise him. He's going, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are here."
Yeah, well, I went to Ashland College in Ashland, Ohio.
Oh my gosh, no
Yeah,
kidding. I didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow.
went there and graduated. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice little liberal arts school, wasn't
Oh
it?
yeah, it
Yeah.
was wonderful. Yeah, they had a wonderful basketball team. They were always in the Division III or whatever. So Ashland was the perfect place to go. I'm glad I went to a small school that took attendance. So if you missed three classes, they lowered your grade one way, and I don't think they did that at Ohio State.
No, I went to OU.
Yeah.
OU was the big party school, and I was the partier. I lasted 2 quarters and then I came home. Well, they shut down the school, remember, because of the riots and stuff my freshman year. So I came back to Toledo. I've gone to like 5 different colleges and or universities, and I've never graduated. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
go check it out. Next.
Well, I always thought Athens was that's where Schmeichel went.
Yeah, it was. And he met his friend, his wife, Jane, who
Jane,
was a
they met
really
there.
good
Yeah,
friend
right.
of my friend. And yeah, it's just crazy.
That was
Um,
beautiful down there. Yeah.
yes, yeah. This is the kind of college I took. My first year, Chris Rust and I took horseback riding for a full quarter. It was fall, it was beautiful. It was, tough school to go to. Did you hang out more with the guys that you went to school with or the guys you went to college with? Because I'm finding a lot of people go back to their high school friends, you know?
Um, After I graduated from college, I moved to Colorado. but I was still real close with Boudre, John Boudre,
Yeah,
Scott Smith, Ron Riley, and Dirk Dantimo.
cool.
And so we still remain pretty much in touch with each other. I'm having coffee with Ron Riley tomorrow, so I see him all the time. And Dirk's got a cabin up north, so he's pretty much there in the summertime. And Scott
Nice.
Smith will be here 1 week from today,
Awesome.
spending a
We
couple
could have
nights.
waited. We could have had a dual,
Yeah, he'd have some interesting stories because he's just coming back from Mexico and South America. And those guys are kind of like my family. You know, married,
yeah.
never had kids, and so and they were always my family because I would be jumping around. I mean, 3 days after I graduated from college, I moved to Breckenridge, Colorado,
Oh.
and my dad's kind of going. He goes, "Don't call, collect." You know,
Well, you're a skier, and I'm like, how does somebody from Toledo, Ohio, become a skier? You know, where did you ski at? I'm Irish Hills.
yes, that was the
Yeah.
first place I went, and they suggested I take a lesson.
Yeah, yeah, I remember those days.
So then after going, we used to go there quite a bit. After I had broke the pair of wooden skis that Dirk had given me, I bought a pair of real skis, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried to go as much as I could at Ashland.
Yeah.
And when I graduated, I didn't get a job in the field that I was. I had a business degree in marketing and economics and advertising, and nobody at a New York advertising agency decided they needed an energetic, young, unexperienced guy. So I went to work for the Breckenridge ski area. I lasted there a year. Then I went back to Toledo and moved in with all the guys I mentioned.
Oh, great.
Ray Riley and Dan, and we all had a house. And then I decided that, well, then I got a job right away. But I said, I'm an expert in the outside industry. I had lived a year and survived in Breckenridge, you know, and then Boudre and I would go backpacking when he'd come visit.
Uh-huh.
And I'd go backpacking with my friends. So I got a job in the outdoor industry in
Good.
Toledo, Ohio, with Churchill's over on Monroe Street. I started getting the itch to go west again. I headed out west and ended up in Phoenix, Arizona. I got another job in the outdoor industry and worked for a company called Bar Mountaineering, which became owned by North Face. So sold cross-country skis, backpacks, hiking shoes, a lot of people going to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'd go to Flagstaff and teach people how to cross-country ski.
Okay, yeah.
So I really got the bug on that. Yeah, so I used to hang out in Sedona quite a bit. I used to ride my mountain bike from Flagstaff to Sedona.
Yeah.
Probably I don't even think a 45-year-old should do that. That was pretty wild.
Oh, Scott, you're about 40 years, you are 40 years ahead of yourself because, mountain biking now is just huge. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Do you still mountain bike?
I still have my mountain bike.
You still have your mountain bike,
I have an e-bike now. It's probably one of the smartest things I ever bought. And I mean, I'm on it all the time.
Yeah,
I just did a big ride over the weekend and camped out. Of course, it's on old railroad grades, so it's really good for 70. How old am I? Oh, I'm 72. Riding an old railroad grade with a pedal assisted electric bike is really the way to go. Yeah.
I love it. Well, that's one of the reasons I'm doing these podcasts is because we are a young generation and people don't recognize, like, oh, I gotta go to the doctor, I gotta do this. But there is a ton of us that are out there staying young, riding our bikes and traveling and going around. And so, I just wanted to do my part and say, you know what? The baby boomers are a generation that stays young, and we're kind of like leading edge people, I think, and yeah, it's so good. And I'm so happy to hear how active you are and what you're doing and everything. It really is great. And the other guys that hung out with you in school. That's great to hear. So you had a business up in Minnesota. When did you start that? And tell us about it.
Well, let's see. When I finally moved to Flagstaff from Phoenix
Okay.
in like '79, so I started a cross country ski area there outside of Flagstaff, and that was hit or miss for snow. Wonderful community.
Yeah.
It was really, and I took some classes at NAU, like like fencing,
I love
and
it.
some photography classes. I already had my degree, but I wanted to occupy my time.
Sure. Good for
And
you.
I was leading hikes for Phoenix Parks and Rec. In the
Okay.
second season, I was leading hikes for Phoenix Park and Rec. There was this very energetic girl from Scottsdale.
Uh-oh.
That her name was Mary, and so we ended up getting married about 3 years later.
Oh,
But in the
nice.
meantime, I had relocated to Minnesota.
Okay.
And in like 84, I relocated to Minnesota. I was tired of poor snow conditions, and I was really into this cross country ski business operations. But I wanted to be where there was good snow, and I could maybe afford some land on the road called the Gunflint Trail. It's a famous summer fishing cabin place and everything.
Nice.
And a guy hired me because someone had just quit. We're grooming cross country ski trails in a snowcat, and I'm sitting on the passenger side. I go, well, you have any experience at this? They go, well, I always groom with snowmobiles, and I've got quite a good background in how these places work and this and that. He goes, well, when can you start?
Oh, wonderful.
So then Mary came and joined me there. She moved. We bought a little piece of land, and then we built a garage and called it a cross country ski center, and rented skis, and it didn't have electricity and didn't have running water. And then I put my wedding suit on, and I went to bankers in Duluth, and proposed my wonderful, college educated business plan,
Awesome.
and maybe it was the kind of tie I wore. So I went back to Grand Marais and talked to the little bankers in Grand Marais, and they go, we'll loan you the money, Scott and Mary. And
Nice.
so we built a 4-bedroom bed and breakfast.
Oh, how
And
fun.
we did that for 20 years. And
Oh my gosh.
so we did that like from 84 till 2006. And that was a wonderful experience. I know you were an innkeeper too.
I was, but what you had was charming and beautiful, and and you got the opportunity to spend time talking to people.
Oh yeah, it was a super location, and everyone liked to come up there because it was so isolated and quiet. It was right on 25-kilometer, 15-mile ski trail.
Oh wow.
And so that you could, in the summer you could hike it, you could mountain bike it. After about 18 years, we decided that we wanted to maybe do something different.
Yeah.
And so then we researched, and we moved to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. We sold the bed and breakfast and moved to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And of course, I got into the outdoor industry again and worked for.
Sure. But what I admire about you is you followed your dream, and you followed it to many outrageous, beautiful places, from Phoenix to, the northern Minnesota area, and then Steamboat Springs. I've told you, I sent away to go to college in Steamboat Springs. I thought, if I'm going to go to college, I want to go somewhere really cool.
They go, I want to retire, and you can't downsize in a place like this.
Nope.
So we could move. Let's see. We should go back to Minnesota. And,
I love it. I love it.
so we chose, the metro area this time. Of course,
Yeah.
one thing about Minnesota is it's, Minnesota friendly.
It's
And
fabulous. It
I
is.
mean, even the people we are just meeting are just wonderful and helpful. Maybe it helps in a 55 and over community, where where everybody's kind of watching out for everybody else. And
I think that's great that you're in a community like that. And there's got to be so much going on. And
so
I
yeah,
love
we kind of feel like this is home and this is our family. And
So I have a really good friend that lives in Minnesota. And so I've had an opportunity to visit Minnesota, and I do love that Minnesota friendly. And I love the parks. And your parks are just full of good people, and you can stop and talk with them and everything like that. So tell me, you know who I'm talking about. How did you run into her?
I'm up in Grand Marais on a dock with Ron and Scott and me and a couple other friends from up there. And this person walks up to us. I turn around, it's Jill Jacobs.
Oh my God.
So yeah, she kind of pops up in different places. Yeah.
Oh, well, that is so great. And I was wondering, is there, you are planning on coming to the reunion because you're on the committee and they're doing a great job, and I appreciate that. And why would you like to come to the reunion? What are you looking for?
I don't know. There's some magnetic connection with the people you went to high school with. Can't really put my finger on it, um, but it was it was quite a good time. And
Yeah.
you know, and I mean, I did the things I was kind of supposed to. I did a couple things maybe I wasn't supposed to.
Didn't we
Um,
all?
and I mean, I'm still hanging out with three Rogers, well, with Boudre. That's like four. I still hang out with those guys.
Yeah,
Three of them I see all the time, and Boudre I see about once every couple of years.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I'm anxious to, you know, get to know people like yourself and reestablish with the people that we went to school with.
Because when I left the last reunion, I thought, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. And I was so proud of the people that all became, and the fun that we were able to, and how easy we were to be able to share with each other and talk to each other. And, it's just like me and you. It's like we've known I mean, we have known each other, but they're very comfortable to share our thoughts and ideas. And I really like that. So you really did live a wonderful life. I mean, with doing the things that you really, really wanted to do, and that. So,
Well, thank you for that.
you
Appreciate it.
listen, I will see you in September. Thank you.